Newport County are back in the old promotion hunt after a big old win against Morecambe, which sees them drop down to 7th. Bolton keep on winning to keep themselves in the mix in the top 3. It's pretty much the same. We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction show today. We're taking a look at match number 37, I think, out in League 2, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, bloody where the heck have you been, boys? Smash your subscribe button, get your banger today with all things Blackburn Rovers related, League 2 related, world football related. We're all here in the bloody morning. It's 7:15 a.m, wiping the sleep out of my eyes. Clock's changed as well to make it even more hard. But we're still here. We're still chucking on. And, of course, you're still chucking on with your predictions. And we'll take a look at that in just a second. Of course, I'll have a big shout-out to the VIP Band of Brothers. We're talking about the Patreons. That's right. Thank you for your continued support. And if anybody's out there that wants to support the channel in another way and join that Band of Brothers, check out that link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. But we're going to be talking about these guys. Let's get into it then, shall we? Of course, the games that did take place this past weekend. And, of course, the next round of matches, which take place in about 24 hours time and some. So let's get into it. Of course, here we bloody go. Kicking all off with let's talk about Leighton Orient. Let's talk about Leighton bloody Orient taking on Scunthorpe. That ended up as a 1-1 draw in the end. Actually, I have the 2-1 for Scunthorpe. For Leighton Orient. Onomaseu Cisse on the score sheet. Ryan Loft getting the goal for Scunthorpe. As puts were split right down the middle, of course. 2-1 for me. Shame on me. Meanwhile, Carlisle, they did beat Bradford, get back to winning ways as well. 3-1 win for them. It's kind of maybe giving them a last minute boost for the playoffs. Of course, Reece Bennett on the score sheet, Ofrande Zanzala with a couple of goals there. Powdy O'Connor on the score sheet for Bradford as they lost. Of course, puts a dent in their high-flying recent form. In fact, they're actually now without a win in 3 for Bradford. So 2-0 for Bradford in the end. 3-1 win for Carlisle in the end. I'm sleepy. I'm a little bit sleepy. Meanwhile, Crawley, they did, what did they get done? I think they got a win, 1-0 win over Mansfield, that's right. James Tilley on the score, giving them the W. I actually remember the 2-1 win for Mansfield, so I got that one wrong. I had a pretty shit one this weekend over in League 2. Exeter City, they lost also to Cheltenham, as I think most people did have a pretty sure. Andy Williams getting a goal for Cheltenham late on to give them a W. 1-0 win for Cheltenham, 3-0 for me. Of course, my tip to do very, very well, of course, Morecambe. Had a bit of a nightmare against Newport County, 3-1 in the end, 2-1 for me. Goals from Matthew Dolan and Josh Sheehan and Kevin Ellison, of course, who was famously or had a bit of a bust up with, of course, Morecambe manager Derek Adams last round. It was his old club. He had a bit of an outburst, bit of a, once he scored, kind of went, stick it up, yeah, to, of course, Derek Adams, as he showed. Age is no barrier, 42 years old, scoring the goal. Meanwhile, Jan Zanongo get the goal for Morecambe. Of course, ex-Rover there, Sam Lavelle as well, getting himself sent off. Very, very action-packed game in that one. Of course, moves Newport County back into the hunt. Meanwhile, Walsall against Tranmere. That also did not go ahead. I went with a 2-0 for Tranmere, so that was a no-go. Meanwhile, Forest Green Rovers against Harrogate was a 2-1 win. I got the one bang on the bloody nose. The Vegans kicking ass and taking names. Of course, Chush Stokes and Scrusher King Wilson as well. Jay Williams got a goal for Harrogate before Elliot Whitehouse got himself sent off deep into the man for the second yellow card. But a win for the Vegans keeps them in the top 3. Of course, Oldham, they got rid of Harry Kuehl quite recently. 6-goal thriller going in favour of Cambridge, though. 4-2 in the end. Goals from Paul Mullen on the score sheet. Jack Iredale as well with a couple of goals there. Luke Harnett as well. Davis, Kellard and Dunn got a couple of goals for Oldham as they tried to explode onto the scene, but unfortunately they crumbled at the end of it. 4-2 win for Cambridge, 0-0 for me. Port Vale, shit season continues for them. They were my tip to do very, very well this season, but unfortunately they are shite. But Bolton keep the band together, keep on moving, of course, with a 1-0 win over Port Vale at Vale Park. Gethin Jones getting the goal that keeps them in the top 6. 2-0 for me. Meanwhile, Southend against Stevenage was a 0-0 draw. Nothing to report here, I don't think. And also Grimsby Town against Colchester, 0-0 in the end. Called it as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One side Corte Fisher. Like that 5 is wrong. Of course, this game doesn't go ahead. So I've got 4. Got 4 really. But anyway, let's take a look at the table as it stands. Cheltenham lead the charge. Of course, 1 point clear over Cambridge, who are level on points with Forest Green Rovers, who have a couple of games hand on Cambridge. Newport County are still in the hunt. Of course, 4 points adrift now. Tranmere, Bolton and Morecambe make up your top 7. Those are the tips that go to playoffs if it was to end today. Exeter, Salford and Crawley all breathing down their necks with games in hand as well. So it's still wide open. Of course, Grimsby, Southend going down at the moment. Barrow's still in the mix as well with games in hand. So let's we'll take a look at all the next round matches shortly. But before then, let's take a look at how you guys got on. Here we bloody go. 0-3 Shitfist gang, 4-7, just like me. Shitfist got an 8+. Your top bins, boys. Here we go, Alagio Joe. Well done to you. Fair play. Kicking ass, taking names, of course. Alex Miller did shite. Game Shy did okay. Even Shy did poop as well. The D-Man did good. Fair play. Of course, Russell Frost also did very, very well. We know about that. Of course, okay, did okay. Shepard also did very, very well. Well done, of course. Omar Esquivel did shite, but it's okay. It's still cool. As Yoki Jackson, it's also easy. He's also cool as well. LMC, you know me. You also did very, very well. Of course, Sappy Crook did bits of poop. Ultra Omar, well done. You did okay. No, you did. You shite. Tom Taylor did very, very well. Well done, of course. And James PCFC, you are great. You did good. These two were not too shabby because Yanni Buster did bits of poop. For this 77, Addis Shocker, of course. Cody Gaho also did very, very well. Ali Hambling, what did you do? You did all right. You did all right indeed. Let's take a look at the table as it stands for this week and this week alone. Ivan Stringer had a shocker. Zappy Crook and Ultra Omar also did pretty poopy. But Gaming Charlie kicked ass. Look at that, 7 out of an impressive 10, I think. James Taylor, James B50 are great. Ash Shepherd keeping up the heat as well with 6. So not too bad for those guys. What's that done to the overall table? Frosty, of course, was leading the charge. He only got himself 5 points this week, so the likes of above him have gained in on him a little bit. Yoki Jackson dropped off the heat. Omar Esquivel also dropped off the heat as Frosty picks up 2 points on them. The only guy really closing in on Russell Frost would be Shepard, who is nowhere to be seen in this play. He's in 8th. He's in 8th. He gained a couple of points, or at least that point. And Gaming Charlie, where are you, son? Where are you in this? You actually gained a couple of points on him. So you're breathing down. You're closer. You're closer to Frosty. So, fair play. But Frosty is running away with it. Still 4 percentage points clear at the moment at the top of League 2 with games running low. But anyway, let's get into the next round of matches. Now, it's only a short, sharp fixture list here. But, of course, before the weekend resumes with a whole bunch of them. Let's get into it then, shall we? Of course, take a look at Crawley against Walsall. This match takes place, of course, on Tuesday, March 16th. So get in there quick time. Page of the last 6 teams for Crawley, a 4 for Walsall, no draws last time around. In Crawley was a 3-2 win for Walsall back in, of course, September 2019. James Clark, Elijah Adebayo and Wesley McDonald on score sheet. Ashley Nathan George and Josh Payne on score sheet for Crawley as they lost 3-2 to Walsall back in League 2. Of course, they played each other this season. Back in, of course, November was 1-0 win for Walsall. Matt Sadler on the score sheet, giving Walsall the win. Heading into this, though, Walsall losing 4 of the past 5 games, drawing against Exeter. It was a big old sandwich in there, of course. That was midway through that fixture list back at the start of March, 0-0 in the end. We were just 1 defeat the past 5 for Crawley. That was against Morecambe, 3-1 loss in Morecambe back at the start of March as well. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? What do we have on this one? Crawley against Walsall, 65 for Crawley, 23-10 is your Walsall, 12-5 is your draw. Of course, Walsall down to 19th, but a win for them, they could move to 16th. Crawley are in 10th, but a win for them, they could move to 8th. That's on the curtails of course, the playoffs. They'll get the win here with a 2-1 win to move the chains and, of course, keep the dream alive. Cheltenham taking, of course, Barrow. Of course, top versus near bottom. Played of the last 3, 2 for Cheltenham, 1 for Barrow, no draws last time around. In Cheltenham was a 2-1 win for Cheltenham back in the National League, Premier League, of course, back in, of course, August 2015. Goal scorers on that day was Kyle Storey, Robert Dickey as well. Robert Dickey. Let me have a look at this Robert Dickey fella. I'm just Googling him on the fly. Meanwhile, Barrow's goals, Aaron Downs, a big fat OG. Robert Dickey. Well, I don't know. It is the Robert Dickey. It is. So yeah, he's now on the books at QPR, playing in the Championship. 25 years old. He is the centre back there. I was just curious where if that was the same one. So he's playing in the National League Premier just a couple of seasons ago, and there he is, rocking it in the Championship right now. Just curious. Anyway, of course, a 2-1 win for Cheltenham back in 2015. Of course, they also put each other this season in Barrow. Was back in, of course, December. 3-0 win for Barrow. Of course, Scott Quigley on the score sheet. Luke James, Hassan Biggins on the score sheet for Barrow, giving them the W. Of course, heading into this, 5 wins in the past 6 games for Cheltenham. Their 1 defeat was against Mansfield. A couple of games back. Meanwhile, Barrow back-to-back defeats for them. Back-to-back wins, beating, of course, Mansfield, beating Walsall as well. 2 clean sheets to boot. Look at the boogies odds. Cheltenham coming to this 43 on for the victory. 25 is draw. 92 is your Barrow. Barrow coming to this, of course, down in 22nd. But a win for them. They could move to 21st. As for Cheltenham, they are top. They'll be top if they win. as well. They're going to get the win with a 2-0 win over Barrow to keep on keeping on, of course, keep themselves in prime time position. Next up we have Mansfield up against Carlisle, who could be back into it. Of course, played for the last 6, 3 for Mansfield, 2 for Carlisle, 1 draw last time around. In Mansfield was a 2-2 draw back in February 2020. Goal scores on the day. That was in League 2. Of course, Nicky Maynard with a couple of goals there. Elliot Watt and Joshua Coyote on the score, giving Carlisle a share of the sport. Meanwhile, they also played this season in Carlisle was a 1-0 win back in, of course, December. O'Malley Patrick on score, giving Carlisle the W. Heading into this, of course, Carlisle back-to-back games now without a defeat. Picking up a win and a draw to boot. Meanwhile, just 2 wins in the past 6 games for Mansfield has them in a pretty shitty kind of form. Look at the bookies odds. 64 for Mansfield, 2-1 is your Carlisle, 21-10 is your draw. Of course, Mansfield are in 16th, but a win for them they could move to 15th. Carlisle in 12th. Win for them they could move to bloody 9th. They have games in hand on the chasing pack as well. I think Carlisle will nick this one with a 2-1 win to get themselves maybe even closer. Salford taking, of course, Colchester United. Played each of the last 2. It's been 2 as a 2 for Colchester, including a win last round in Salford, which was the last time they played each other back in, of course, February 2020. Goal scores on the day were Kawami Poku and Kalim Hadit as well. Ashley Hunter getting a goal for Salford. Of course, heading into this, just 1 win the past 6 games, or 5 games for Colchester. That was against Carlisle. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat the past 4 for Salford. That was against Crawley in League 2. Of course, heading into this one, the bookies odds. What do we have on the bookies odds on this one then? Shall we? Salford coming into 10-7 on. They are your favourites. 5-2 is your 19-4 is your Colchester. Colchester coming into this, of course, in 20th. But for them, they could move up to bloody 16th. Salford are actually in 9th. For them, they can move to 8th in the tier. But I think Salford will nick this one as well. 2-0 win, clean sheet to boot. Port Vale taking, of course, Newport County. Played to the last 6, nothing for Port Vale. 3 for Newport County. 3 draws last round at Port Vale. Was a new 2-1 win for Newport back in, of course, September 2018. Scott Bennett, Dan Butler on the score sheet for Newport. Of course, Tom Hope getting a goal for Port Vale. They also played this season in Wales, of course, back in Newport County. Kevin Allison on the score sheet on the 96th minute, back in, of course, November 2020. Leon Legg, Dr. Legg's son, gets himself sent off for Port Vale. Heading into his 3 wins on the spin for Newport. They are back. They are back with passion, of course. Picking up wins against Colchester, Bradford, of course, Morecambe. As for Port Vale, without a win in at least 6, actually lost 4 of the past 5 games. The only positive was a draw against Oldham, but it is looking very, very bad for them. Port Vale 50-8 for the victory. 12-5 is draw. 20 is your Newport County. Newport County coming into this in 4th. A win for them. They could close it in on 3rd, whereas Port Vale down 21st. They could get relegated, boys, but a win for them. They can move up to 19th in the table. Port Vale will lose this one. Newport County with another win to keep the dream alive. Grimsby Town against Tranmere, of course, plays for the last 6. 1 for Grimsby, 4 for Tranmere, 1 draw last round. In Grimsby, it was a 7-goal thriller going in favour of Grimsby. Harry Clifton, Wes Thomas, Harry Davis, Mitch Rose, Elliot Embleton on the score sheet for Grimsby, 5 different goal scorers, and James Norwood, Paul Mullen on the score sheet for Tranmere, a 5-2 loss. However, they also played this season in Tranmere as a 5-0 win for Tranmere back in November, of course. Vaughan with the brace, Peter Clark, Otis Khan, and Paul Lewis getting Tranmere's 5 goals on that one. Of course, heading into this, Tranmere just 1 win in the past 3. That one was against Southend. Meanwhile, without a win in 5, that's Grimsby, but back-to-back draws for them in recent times. Look at the bookies odds: 3-1 for Grimsby, 25 is draw, to 11-10 on is your Tranmere. Tranmere coming to this, of course, in 5th, and a win for them, they can move to 4th. As for their opposition, Grimsby, they are rooted to the foot of the table, but a win for them, they can close it in on Southend. Going to go with the 3-1 for Tranmere. Grimsby look toast. And then finally, Scunthorpe United taking, of course, Oldham Athletic, of course, played for the last 6. 4 for Scunthorpe, 1 for Oldham, 1 draw. Last time at Scunthorpe was a 2-2 draw back in September 2019. Goal scores on the day: Matthew Lund, Kevin Van Veen as well, Christopher Milsulu and Jonathan Branger on the score sheet, of course, in a 2-2 draw back in, of course, 2019. They also played each other this season at Boundary Park, a 2-0 win for Scunthorpe. Jacob Badu on the score sheet, and, of course, Kevin Van Veen as well. Heading into this, just 1 win the past 6 games for Oldham, that was against Carlisle. Meanwhile, just 1 win the past 6 for Scunthorpe, that was against Cambridge United as well. Look at the bookies odds on this one: 65 for Scunthorpe, 23-10 is your Oldham, 12-5 is your draw. Scunthorpe currently find themselves in 18th, and a win for them, they can move up to 15th. Oldham are in 17th, and a win for them, they can also move up to 15th in the table. Tight, airtight, going to go with a draw, 1-1 in the end. And that, my friends, is what I think will happen in this little mini fixture list, of course, this week. Be sure to get your picks nice and early, but the table will look like this after it. Of course, Cambridge, of course, extending the lead at the top of the table. Of course, Cambridge and Forest Green make up the top 3. Newport County to the 4th, Tranmere 5th, Bolton 6th, Morecambe stay in the top 7. As for the foot of the table, Grimsby and Southend look like they're going to the non-league. Be sure to get your picks in nice and early for this one, and we'll do it all again very, very soon. Until then, though, be sure to give the video some love, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and again, if you want to support me in another way, you could also go and become the latest member of the Patreon gang. I do appreciate the support from the Patreon. They put a smile on my face and keep the dream alive for myself as we try to make this a bigger and better place to hang out. Until then, though, be sure to give the video some love. I'll see you all next time. Until then, smash up, thumbs up. See you all next time.